assessing your current state is really crucial, because if you don't, it can lead to quite a bit of pain and, in many respects, poor results, especially if you're in an organization. I was actually forced to assess my conditioning and the way I was leading and relating to people in my first job out of college, actually. I was working with a textile manufacturer, and I was a relatively new supervisor who had a responsibility for probably 15, 18 people. Most of them were old enough to be my parents at that time. And in that culture, it was a very authoritative, really it was a toxic culture where people weren't really respected by leaders. And for me coming in, I was more of a participative type of a leader from a leadership style, participative rather than authoritative. And I really believed in respecting people and doing the right things. Well, lo and behold, after being there for a while, I started to become, I guess I would say, affected or impacted by some of the behavior around me. And I started to develop some of these bad habits. And I remember one day I was going out to take a look at something that happened on the shop floor. And I saw several of the team members standing around a machine. And I walked up and realized that one of the guys had caused an issue that actually resulted in us needing to shut down the machine, which was a huge cost to the company. Before I knew it, I'd yelled at this guy in front of his peers. From a discipline standpoint, I raised my voice and made some comments, and I went back to my office. And I get back to my office, I realized that I'd made a mistake. That was wrong. That was not the way to do it. I'd lost the respect of the team, basically. And what I had to do then was look in the mirror and realize that, yes, you're becoming like the people around you, like the leaders around you. But what I ended up doing was apologizing, calling the guy into my office, apologizing to him and the team. And then I started to really lean in. How had I been conditioned? What causes this type of behavior, conditioning? And I also read everything I get my hands on the topic of leadership, found a mentor, started to do some things that allowed me then to grow and develop and change and to be a better leader. Humility is a great strength of leaders. We have to be humble when we're thinking about improving as leaders. And we've got to also focus on that whole service side of things. Serving others rather than seeking to be served. The primary common mistake that we make is looking through rose-colored glasses. It's really fun to read the attaboys and accolades and positive feedback that we get. It's much more difficult to take a look at internalize things that we need to improve. Constructive, I like to call it feedback. But that can be the most helpful, important feedback that we get. In addition to that, one of the other challenges is, and I've alluded to this, is that it is very difficult to get truth from others. And that is especially true the higher you go in an organization, because as we all know, people will tell you what they think you want to hear rather than what we really need to hear. We need help from others. We really do. And that's something that is important when it comes to people reporting to us. So the best way to do that is to model what it means to be transparent. Say to people, hey, look, I am looking to continue to grow as a leader and I need your help. The more humble we are, the more others focused that we become, the easier it will be to be open to the truth. Because it's not just for us, it's for those that we love, lead, and serve. So we want to be better, not just for ourselves, but for those around us, so that we can reach our true potential and positively impact the world.